Our payroll experts in UAE take you through a set of frequently asked questions that pertain to payroll processing in UAE. What is the frequency of making salary payments to employees in UAE? Monthly or bi-weekly depending on the type of contract. What are the statutory pay components included in employee salary? There are no defined statutory components. Which are the common pay components that are normally payable to employees? Fixed components may include basic salary, house rent allowance, transport allowance and other allowances. The variable components may include overtime, sales commission, bonus, incentives, relocation allowances and mobile allowances. What is the minimum salary payable in UAE? There is no minimum salary payable in UAE. How is overtime calculated? If the employee works on a designated rest day, he is entitled to normal wages plus 50%. An employee shall be entitled to remuneration equal to his normal wage plus an extra of at least 25% for extra hours beyond normal working hours. How is UAE gratuity accrued? UAE gratuity is accrued against the last drawn basic salary and calculated as follows. 21 days pay for every year of the first 5 years of service. 30 days pay for every additional year. When is gratuity paid to an employee? An employee who has completed 1 year or more in the continuous service is entitled to the end of service remuneration at the end of his service. What are the statutory deductions that are made to employees in the UAE? There is no income tax deductions in the UAE, only UAE nationals are subject to mandatory national pension plans contributions. How is UAE pension calculated? Monthly pension deductions are made on UAE nationals' total fixed salaries to a maximum limit of 50,000 United Arab Emirates dirhams. Private sector employees in Dubai contribute 5% of their total salary to this plan, the employer contributes 12.5%, and the government contributes 2.5%. In Abu Dhabi, the employees contribute 5% and the employer contributes 15%. What is UAE WPS? UAE WPS is an electronic salary transfer system that allows institutions and organizations in the private sector to pay their employees through banks, exchange bureaus and financial institutions approved by the UAE Central Bank. What are the types of employment contracts available in UAE? Limited contracts and unlimited contracts. Are employees eligible for air ticket benefits in UAE? Employers are required to provide their employees with a return air ticket once in every 2 years to their home country. Is employee medical insurance mandatory in UAE? It is mandatory that an employer provides medical insurance to the employee during the duration of employment. Which are the currencies that can be used in making salary payments in UAE? The only accepted currency used in making salary payments in the UAE is AED. Is bonus or incentives payment mandatory in UAE? Bonus and incentives payments are not mandatory in UAE. What are the items included in end-of-service benefits calculation in UAE? The employee is entitled to the following end-of-service benefits: gratuity, repatriation ticket if applicable, notice period pay if applicable, any unutilized leave pay, any other outstanding payment or deduction.